Hello everyone, good day, good morning, whenever you're watching this video, and I'm just so glad you're here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tracy Brown, and my team and I of non-diet, trauma-informed dietitians, we aim to provide education and encouragement and counseling to those who want to have a better relationship with food and feel safer in their bodies. That's kind of what we do. And, I'm not blind or deaf, to what's going on here in the world. And I know you all aren't either. And, as a dietitian, what's my role? What do I do about that, right? And it's more about, again, continuously doing my own nervous system health regulation work. And honestly, being able to take best care of myself in a non-obsessive way I can, so that I can serve my family and you all and the people who need a soft and a safe place to land. And that's what this video is for. And this is what the work that we aim to do. And, we do that through the lens of food and body image and nutrition and nervous system health regulation, and really being able to honestly be grounded inside yourself, because sometimes that's all we might feel like we have when everything around us is, we don't maybe have feel like we have a lot of say over. All right. So that's what this video is about, is going back to basics. And I just have felt led all the last couple months. I've been, given that little surveys and things of what people are struggling with. And I give people some options and they choose. And this is kind of the last of this last series around, I'm just seeing how very important it is that people really take stock every single day. If you have to do it the night before for the next day, so you don't have to have so much decision fatigue if you wake up kind of busy and struggle to even be grounded in the morning. I wanted to offer just some reminders of some basics. So thanks for hanging in with me with all these words. It's just that I want to make sure that these videos also have context and nuance and all that as well. So let's just talk about the basics. Here are some really basic things that can really, honestly, just help your quality of life wherever stage of recovery you're in. All right, so let's go back to the basics. I keep talking about that. And as a dietitian, you would think I would say nutrition is the most important thing, and obviously it very much is. However, I've learned from my lived experience from almost 20 years of doing this work is that if people are really dysregulated and don't have a way to do that, it's really hard to learn, and for all this goodness that we might know what we need to do to land, which lands people in this position of, I know what I need to do, but I don't do it. All right. And so there's two parts of that, is that I highly recommend that everybody, before they hop out of bed in the morning, before you grab your phone, do these two things. Okay. It's just to lay there in bed in the morning and just feel, if you can sense any kind of goodness. All right. So how the sheets feel on your heels, your calves, back of your legs, your back, your shoulders, your head, and if there's spots that don't feel so good, I'm not asking you to focus on that right now. We know it's there and it needs your attention, but just for a second, just orient to the good, or the good enough, or at least the relatively safe enough. Because I know out there sometimes it doesn't feel so safe. And maybe inside you don't have a lot of experience of internal safety yet either, because that's just a work. It's a work in process. It's a work in progress that you have to do your own stuff. From a sensory kind of safety level, but then hopefully that you have some safe people that you are in connection and community with. So all that being said, again, go back to the basics. First in the morning, can you lay there and have gratitude for at least something feels relatively safe, relatively good? If it's not, there's no such thing as 100% safety in this world. It's not about that. It's about, is there a relative that you can orient to? And help yourself with your mind, a little bit of your will. Stay there for as long as you can tolerate. Whether it's 5 seconds, 30 seconds, 10 minutes, that's great. Don't grab your phone. If it's by your bed, you might consider not having it by your bed. Buy a $10 cheap alarm clock that buzzes so that you don't have that phone by your head if you really struggle with getting on and scrolling first thing, okay? Scrolling is just already going to set up your brain for in this looking, searching, and then checking out kind of mode. And I'd love for you all to start with a better way in your day. So can you feel what's relatively good enough? If it's not your body, can you look around your room? And what is there that you chose that you love? That maybe it's a painting you made or bought, or it's pictures of loved ones, or if the sun's coming up, then wow, you don't have to make that happen. How neat is that? You can enjoy that. Is it beautiful? Whatever it is, okay, do that first. And then, like I said, try to keep that phone at bay. Try to notice that you're physically supported by something outside of yourself, like that bed, those sheets, whatever feels good, or whatever's around you that you can take in with your eyes that also lets you know that, like, you know, there's still goodness. All right. Number 2, honestly, I've been really prioritizing this the last couple months, and I've definitely noticed a decrease in activation, is to get outside and again, before I get on that phone, just get some morning sunshine. If it's hazy or cloudy or raining, it's okay. Can you sit somewhere and just enjoy the morning of just a few minutes? It doesn't have to be a lot. Drink a glass of water with it if you want to, whatever. I'm not here to do nutrition recommendations to anyone personally here today, but again, let something that has a slower pace be the first thing that you orient to. So the sun rising, or the birds chirping, or maybe it is raining and it's kind of overcast, and maybe it's cloudy and misty and gloomy. Find something in that to orient to that may be enjoyable. Okay. All right, so all that being said, if you can do some of that in the morning, again, even if it's just a couple minutes before you get on the phone, before you rush about your morning, would be really helpful, okay? Some other basics of, then we'll talk about, your nutrition and stuff in a minute here, is that, or at least nutrition, health stuff, is that, most people who watch me really, really care about integrity. They care about living out their values. And so that's one of the ways in which we know that if you're feeling tons of anxiety and obsession with your food and what you look like, you're looking for something different. Okay, that does not mean that you don't care about your health. It just means that you have to approach it in a different kind of way, because the fear-mongering, dogmatic, all or nothing, perfectionistic way of trying to do food and health has actually made you less healthy. And you recognize that. And you recognize that it has impact not only on you and your body, your physiology, your mind, how you treat yourself, but also others. I can tell when people are anxious about their food, health, or body when I'm around them. I can sense the activation, like lack of ease at meals, or trying their best to white knuckle that everything's okay, but we can all sense that you're not. And so it's really important that if that's the case for you, or maybe you have a lot of health conditions and you're always kind of seeking someone else to tell you what to do, it's really important that it starts let's start with the first things first. Is like, people didn't get born learning about nutrition. People get born and they start the developmental process of learning how to eat. So focus on that process. So for you, if you're skipping meals, add back another meal. If you're really restricting and counting and doing all these things and it's not making you better, it's actually making you more tense and worried of messing up, that's not working for you. And there's some healing to do in your mind before you could ever get back to any kind of particulars, probably some light particulars with nutrition, but not too deep and in depth. There's not enough capacity to do that in your system yet. So start with mechanical eating so that you can eventually progress to some more body-based, body listening, intuitive eating. And if you need to combine that because you have some stuff going on with any of your organ systems, or just basic stuff of my body feels tired but wired. There's a lot of really great resources out there for basically HPA axis dysregulation, meaning your body's super stressed out, you're not digesting well, your menstrual cycles don't feel like something's quite right, it's too much, not enough, hormone health isn't great, brain's foggy, energy's not good, all the things, that can be included in your healing your relationship with the food process, but everything has to be done in context. And honestly, I've needed support to learn those kind of things. I didn't have it all figured out once I became an intuitive eater. I still had to look and get mentors who had opted out of this quick fix program mentality and really gave me sound wisdom. It's like, look, this is probably, in my own lived experiences when I needed some help, with some stress-related hormone systems. It's like, it took me a year to I think, recover, and it's still a balancing act. And I'm totally okay with that. Because when we do get our minds renewed to running away from discomfort, when we stop running away and turn around and face what the root is causing this, then we look at things really holistically and we take one thing at a time. You work on this, then you add the next layer. You leave something behind that you don't need anymore. You add a new thing. That's it. So I guess what I'm telling you all here, or suggesting from a perspective of, we got to work on basic safety and regulation. We got to work on are you getting enough food? And is your attitude and your mindset about providing versus depriving? And if you don't know how to provide, then if you need some meal planning support, you ask us. If you need some transitionary stuff between that and intuitive eating, we can help you with that. If you're ready for intuitive eating, great. If you need intuitive eating with some mineral balancing support or digestive support or whatever, then we can combine all that. It's not a hard ask. It's just being willing to understand that it's going to take time, and we do have to kind of put our some of our urgency and our pride aside to go at the slowest pace that our bodies can. Go as fast as the slowest parts of our mind and our body can go. All right. Okay, so we talked about, again, the phone usage, sunshine, morning if you can, enough food. Of course, I hope y'all are drinking the fluids you need, and fluids come from all kinds of fluids. It doesn't have to be just water and get it done, right? So we talked about, the different stages of getting your body in better equilibrium, but it's got to start with willingness to provide and not just settling for getting by, to be honest. The other part of this that I highly recommend is that if you don't have, even in the midst of hard times and circumstances, if you don't allow yourself to have the joy that's in front of you, if you block care, if you block reception of care, if you think that being truthful and authentic and vulnerable is weak, you're going to struggle with healing, because we need joy in our lives. We need a lot of that goodness to help build some safety and to build some hope and to build some purpose, which goes on the next thing, is that, everybody here knows your life's mission isn't to be the thinnest person, or to be thin to earn love, or to be thin so people won't hurt you again. And you can replace you can put thin, take out the word thing, you could put health, you could put in the word fit, you could put in the word whatever, beauty. You can't earn and get from other people and it be authentic and safe. That's just how it is. And I think shifting your focus to some other kind of value system is going to be really helpful. And so purpose, and having purpose and connection, besides feeling like your identity is in all this fear, and getting things right and not getting in trouble with your food, your body, all that stuff. Once you have it settled inside yourself that you're made for more than all that, I do think that you'll start to see a little more agency, then confidence, hope, and the healing's gonna be happening along with all that. So I hope this helps. I did talk a lot. I hope I didn't talk in too many circles. I know there's a longer video. Not great made for reels. I'm not really that concerned about that. I want you to have pen and paper out when you're doing these things, and treat these videos like you're in a mini session, so you can assess yourself. and write these things down that I talked about. Take your notes, look at them. Where am I struggling? Where do I need more support? Where do I legit need some education that's got a cleansed lens of you're the one that ultimately gets to be in charge of your recovery and your health journey. And you want to make sure that all the voices you're hearing, whether outside of you or inside of you, are aligned, with compassion and truth. And sometimes love and compassion and truth, well, not sometimes, all the time, they do not align with survival tactics. Survival tactics are what they're for, survival. If you're looking to thrive, there's likely some things that we've believed in for a really long time that don't work, but you've done them for so long that that's what you're used to, but that's not who you are. That was a strategy, and as an adult, you get the opportunity to look at what's happening and provide a lot of compassion for you that needed to do those things to maybe survive a period of time, but likely that time's over. If you're still in a threat response now, I totally get it, that's really hard, and we can own the truth of what's activating you right now as well, and speak the truth about that. And then what do I do about this right now? I'm still it's a here and now thing, stressor, threat response. It's impacting how I desire to take care of myself. So the question would be, all right, what do we need in this circumstance? Again, those basics to feed that system. So at least if things aren't ideal, they're less bad. All right. Well, I thank you all so much for watching. Take the time to watch this longer video. I hope it was helpful. Hope it gave you some things to think about. I do hope that you know that for those of you who are watching and are ready, non-diet dietitians provide a lot of good nutrition care and support because we have bodies too, and we have life cycles we've lived through. And there's just a lot of support for you out there that's you might not find other places because we do try to provide, holistic care. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next videos. If you do have something that really interests you, that I feel that I honestly have some experience or whatever to speak to and from, I'll do that for you. So please just ask. You can email me or put in the comments below. So thanks so much. Bye for now.